Hello and welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are going to be doing the assembly for the Sprinkled with Joy add-on set. And what this add-on die set does is it makes the oven in Sprinkled with Joy open. It's so cool. So today we're going to be talking about the assembly of this die, and then later on we will have the full introduction video to Sprinkled with Joy. So here is a little look at what this add-on die does, and it makes this interactive opening oven, which is just so cute. So let's go ahead and start working with this. So I'm going to stamp out the oven and just quickly color it in. Don't worry, we'll be doing the full intro video later where I'll show way more of the coloring. So I'm just going to color the whole oven in, and the last thing you want to do also is to color in the inner edge of the oven. So you're going to see that I'm going to do that next because the die is going to leave a little border around where that turquoise area is, and you'll see that once we use the interactive add-on die. So I'm just going to color that part in. And then I can take the die and line it up. So you'll see the opening there is going to line up with the top part of the oven. And then I can hold it in place with some low-tack tape. So I'm just going to line that up with the stamped image there and just run it through my die cut machine. And now this is what's going to create my interactive door element. So you can see that the die has created this really cool little perforated line there, and that's where you're going to fold. And it's perforated so that it makes it a little bit easier to fold. And then that's what's going to create the oven door hinge. To create the back of the oven, I'm going to be using the coordinating die, but I'm just going to cut it from white cardstock without stamping anything. And you'll see that those are going to line up perfectly, and it's going to create the base part of your oven. So I'm going to go ahead and color in this whole base part with a gray marker. And then when I line them up, you'll see that it's going to create a nice seamless look between the base of the oven and the front of the oven. Now next up, I need to decorate the inside of the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out a cookie sheet and some cookies from Sprinkled with Joy, and I'm going to cut those out with the coordinating dies and then just layer those cute little cookies onto my cookie sheet. This seems to be the only way that I can bake something without burning it. And then next up, we're going to use a pencil to make some guidelines. So I'm going to create a line right on the top part of the oven there, and then on the inner part of the door. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I'm going to know where to stamp my hidden sentiment on the inside. So right there I've got some nice pencil guidelines, and I can take the May Your Holidays Be and stamp that right between those lines. Then I can go ahead and erase all of those guidelines, and then I can adhere my cookie sheet to the base part of the oven. Now next up, we are going to be seeing where we should put adhesive on the top part of the oven. So right next to it on the right there, you'll see I have some green highlighting, and that's where your adhesive is going to go on the back of this oven door piece. So I'm using some tape runner here. I'm going to go along all of those little inner edges, making sure not to get any of the door because I want to make sure that door can open freely. And you can use any glue you like. Liquid glue would work really well, or some glue dots, whatever your favorite adhesive is. And once I've got all of that adhesive on there, I can now line up my top piece with my base piece. So you'll see there as I line them up, I'm going to kind of stack them almost like a deck of cards, and they're just going to line up perfectly, just like that. And then I can press down to make sure that all of the little pieces in those side edges are adhered really, really well. And now that oven door can open and close. Next up, we have all of the other little elements in this set. So we have a tea towel, a tag, a door handle, and a tab closure. So to color these, I'm actually going to use my Copic markers. That way they really coordinate with my oven, but you could use patterned paper or colored cardstock, whatever you like. And I'm going to color that tab closure, my door handle, and that cute little tag too. Now you're going to see with this door handle that it's created two embossed lines on either side of it. So what you're going to do is on the innermost embossed line right there, you're going to fold that in. And then on the outermost one, you're going to fold it up, creating a Z-like shape. And then you're going to repeat that on the other side. So we're going to fold that innermost one in and the outermost one out, creating a Z shape, and that's going to make our door handle. Now, first up, we're going to work with the tab closure. Now, this is one of those things that you can add or not, depending on what you want your card to be. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the inner part of the door handle and then line up this tab closure so that only the tab is peeking out from above the oven door. Now you can slide that little tab piece into the top of the oven, and it's going to create a nice little closure for this cool interactive element. Now here, this is where you're going to see why we didn't put any adhesive there, and that's so that that tab closure can go right in there really easily. For the door handle, we're going to put some tape on the outermost little tabs, and then we're going to line that up with our oven. So you'll see I'm going to line that up right with that outer edge, and the next piece, and now we've created a cool three-dimensional door handle that someone can pull to create the interactive element of the card. Now here I have this little tag, and I'm going to stamp Open Me on it, and this is from the Sprinkle with Joy stamp set too, and I love this because it's going to tell the recipient of the card that there's something cool there, that there's a little interactive element. So I'm just going to take some twine there and tie it to my door handle, and I think it's a cute little look, and that bright pop of pink just kind of jazzes everything up. I'll just trim off those edges. And then here you can see how cool this is. When we pull the door handle, we can open it right up, and then we can put that tab closure in and have it have a nice closed seal. Now here's that little tea towel die, and you'll see there's an embossed line in the middle and some cute cross stitch detail. So I'm just going to fold along that embossed line and create a little towel. Now I did it from some white cardstock there. Now I'm doing it from some pattern paper, and I think that's a really cool look because it really just does look like a little kitchen towel. And then you can hang that right off the door handle too, and it looks good either way. You could also color it with Copics like I did with some of the other elements too. And now here is an example of the two different types of ovens. So there's one without the tab closure, and here's one with the tab closure. And it's really just a preference thing, or what you're kind of feeling that day. So I love that you have the option of doing the tab or not. And then here you can see how cute it is to put the little tea towels on the handles. Oh, I just can't get over it. It just makes me giggle. It's just so adorable. One other idea is that you could add some acetate or some vellum to your window opening for your oven. I think that would be a really, really cool look too. And so here's a final look at that tab closure versus non-tab closure, and also how cool this is when this oven opens and closes, and just how cute cards can turn out with it. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this awesome interactive die. So thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!